Colleagues, welcome to Right Club. Lorraine, you rock, Lorraine. Right Club. Now, what's the first rule of Right Club?
Right.
Kendra, thank you, my darling. What would I do without you? Right. I'm so excited. Now I can see Queen Dina's in. We love you, Dina. So proud of you, Dina. Damien's in. I'll just do a quick touch base with Damien. So, Damien, we had you getting the proof through last week. What are we working on this week, Damien, just to inspire us?
I'm doing a novel methodology in my thesis, and I'm doing some writing on that for a specific chapter.
Okay, that's inspired me. That's fantastic. All the teams in. We've got Oscar's autopilot in. One day we're going to know who Oscar's autopilot is, but I'm so thrilled to welcome you, OOP. Chad's in, Kirsty's in, Wendy's in, Sue's in, the Queen Beck's in, Gay's in. Hello. Fantastic, wonderful to see you. Wonderful, Nadika's in, Kat's in. Oh, it's all happening. We've pumped through, and Amina's in. Hello, Amina. Brilliant. Great to see you, Kat. You rock, Kat. You well?
Yes, thanks. Yeah, sorry I'm late, Tara.
Darling, you are not late. It's 2 past and we are about to begin. So I've got my little thing. Colleagues, we will write. Thank you, Chad, for caring. Thank you. You're the only person that cares. I thank you for that. Colleagues, we're going to write for 29 minutes and then we're going to get back together as a family. Let's go hard for 29 minutes. Right, club, right. Let's do this. Come on, team. Let's do some damage. Put on your best. Great to see you, mate.
Where would a roller garbage be?
in for that door.
Oh, yeah.
last minute, colleagues. And we are finished. Oh, Wendy looked pensive there. Right, Wendy, I'm going to go straight to you. Wendy, what were you working on? Oh, can I just do firstly on behalf of everybody, a big hello to all our asynchronous Right Club people, including the legendary Vic. Vic, we love you. You are an amazing human. Wendy, what were you working on?
So I'm starting to pull my thesis together, and I've been working on writing the introduction or starting to, figure what I need to put in my introduction. And then I'm also thinking about what I need to actually put in my discussion chapter and trying to make sure that both of them line up.
And are you, can I be honest with you, Wendy? I think so many people get really concerned about that, like what goes in the discussion chapter, what goes in the results chapter, what goes in the conclusion. Do you really think that it's as clear as that and differentiating it, really?
Probably not in a lot of ways, but I'm just trying to make sure that I cover off in the introduction any definitions and things that might end up further down the line, and those sorts of things.
Wendy, that's brilliant. One of the great characteristics of the great PhDs, the great research projects, is that they have this lovely tissue of connectivity between the chapters. So they explain to the examiner where they are. Why am I in this chapter? What am I going to see in this chapter? How does it link with what I've just experienced? Where is it going next? So it's what I've often described as the tour guide role in a PhD. So when that's hard writing to do, so that explains why your face was doing all sorts of you were wrangling prose there, Wendy.
Yeah, and just wrangling thinking, I think.
And what you're doing is incredibly hard, but I tell you what, every examiner will comment on how the thesis is nested together. I promise you. Oh, good on you, Wen. Fantastic. Should we go to Queen Beck? Beck, who's in the glamorous library location. What a glamorous.
That's a bookcase.
That's so glamorous.
I love it.
I miss my books, but that's a whole other thing. So Beck, what were you writing on? What were you working on there, Beckster?
Okay. Sorry, this is all confidential, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't. It is on the internet, so probably not confidential stuff, but stuff that's interesting. What were you working on that was interesting that you're happy to share?
So I finished my Masters by Research in 2021, and I've been unwell and had lots of surgeries, which Tara is aware of. But I'm coming out of that now. I have a PhD project which was given to me, which I like. It's interesting. It's oral health as a risk factor for cardiovascular disease. I'm a registered nurse.
Yep.
So it's nice. But I have another idea which I'm actually really passionate about, and I want to do that instead. But I've been advised by somebody who I value, who said to me, don't tell anybody, don't say anything. It's going to be detrimental to your career. So I've been sitting on the fence about what to do. Anyway, the long and the short of it is I found a PhD supervisor in the UK about what I'm passionate about. I found a university that they're joint with, which is La Trobe down in Victoria, which I'm desperately trying to find a PhD supervisor down there that will take me on as a student. And right now I'm actually writing the PhD proposal.
That is, well, congratulations, and you'll be fantastic, and we'll talk about those other matters through the week. But Beck, the thing is, and again, colleagues may want to offer commentary to Beck. And again, we wish you health and wonderment and fabulousness. And you are a courageous human and you are inspirational to all of us. But Beck, life is too short to be doing stuff that you don't want to do, right?
I'm
Now-
going to invest my life into this. I want it to be something that I actually give a shit about. So
I think you've answered your own question, Beck. And so, Beck, we all know life is difficult, right? Life is difficult, and we all have to do difficult things, and we can't feel good about the choices that we all make most days. We get all of that, but when you do have the choice to do something fabulous,
Yeah.
why don't you do that? And I was watching you through that Right Club, and you can probably see it on record again when you watch it, Beck. You were inspired and your eyes were sparkling. So I think there's some proxies for your consideration there.
I'm very interested on a personal level, but also because of what can be achieved for others, particularly younger generations coming through. You know a little bit about my family, so I think you've got an understanding of what I'm talking about.
I do, darling. I do.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So look, change the world, Beck, and we're with you while you do that, and let's do some damage. That is fantastic, Beck. And
Can
we'll
I say one last thing, and that is
Please.
I'm looking forward to everybody's support, because as my last research supervisor used to say to me on a weekly basis, man, why do you write like this? Because I can't write for shit. That's why I'm here.
Yes, well, I told the thing about writing. Look at Chad. I love you, Chad. I want to be you, Chad. # no pressure. Beck, can I just say, you learn to write by writing. So no one comes out of the vagina being able to write. I promise you.
Thank you.
We don't come out with a pen. We don't come out going, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. So we learn to write by writing. When do you want to go straight in? When? Talk to Beck.
Look, I'm a registered nurse as well, and I've had my supervisors ripping their bloody hair out because I write so passively. And it comes from working in a health department and passive writing with the health department. And so you just have to suck it up, princess. Buy yourself Grammarly, it's your friend, and work on the passive writing. And it does get better over time.
It does. Look at the interesting thing about Grammarly and all sorts of software programs is it does teach you what passive voice is, because we're taught through a lot of our formal education that passive voice is normal. And actually, and I suppose coming from a bit of a tough background like I've done, I didn't sort of know that posh people talk in passive voice. So a lot of my writing appears like I grab people by the throat and bang them up against a wall. People often talk about that. Thank you for laughing, Bess. So my writing is quite intense because they're short.
Where's mine?
Yeah, because I have short sentences and I don't use adjectives. So it seems like I'm sort of shouting all the time with much excitement. So Beck, you've just got to find your own way, but learning about, don't passive voice, claim your power, claim your space, claim your ideas, active voice.
Thank
A
you.
good editor can also help you with going from passive to active.
Gay, they can, but and again, I'm a big, if you need support, always get that support. And Kate, as we know, Kate is
Gay is a fantastic editor. She's hiding her light under a bushel. Gay is the PhD editor.
and it's fantastic. But what I would also say is, I'm sure you agree with me, Gay, part of what a PhD is about is teaching people how to write too. That they've got to learn.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you rock. So Gay, what were you writing on for that? Tell us about you in the last 30 minutes. What happened?
I'm revising my write-up of the results of my test data. So I'm testing whether my new funerary monument recording inscription recording method works on more than one cemetery. So I've had some volunteers to be putting their own data into my spreadsheet, and mostly they did it okay.
Brilliant.
Sometimes they didn't because they were in a hurry or they weren't paying attention to the instructions. But I have looked at many cemeteries, many inscriptions, and my new recording method works every single time.
Ooh.
Including in international languages?
I
Figure this out?
haven't managed to get. I have excluded that because I can only read 15 different languages. I can't read some of the other ones.
Oh,
So-
Gay, you need to try harder, Gay.
Yeah, I do.
You can only read 15 languages. Yeah, well, Gay, sort yourself out, mate. Sort yourself out.
So I've actually put a caveat saying that this has not been tested on, for instance, Japanese or Chinese language inscriptions because I just can't read them.
That's for the next PhD. The next PhD student will work with that. The idea that you've got generalizability of that data set through that template is brilliant, Gay. And if that's not a good use of 30 minutes, I'm not sure what is. That is fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Well done, Gay. Should we go to Queen Kirsty? Because again, I'm completely fixated by her bookshelves as well. How are you, Kirsty?
I'm really well, thank you. I think what I did in the last 30 minutes was completely procrastinate between tidying up my methods as a second or third draft. And I think that is because I was jumping back and forth from, I'm writing my first article based on some of my findings so far. And I'm actually realizing how anxious I am about it. So that was a really good reflection 30 minutes for me to see what I actually do when I'm really nervous to start something. So I've put bits in there so it looks busy and important, but didn't do anything substantial.
Now, Kirsty,
so thank you for everyone for letting me share that really awful thing.
You are magnificent. But Kirsty, what's causing the anxiety? What's causing where's that coming from?
I think it's just the fact that this is my first article that I'm writing based on my findings that because I'm going to have 3 publications in my PhD, and this is my first one that I'm working on. And I can even feel myself heating up talking about it. So yeah, it's and I'm really excited that I'm already finding these things, and it's actually some really, really cool findings based in climate change communication. So it's really important stuff, but yeah, just taking that first big step and putting it together it's nerve-wracking, I think.
Kirsty, can I give you a little bit of advice that I do when I get a bit lost, when I get it, what am I doing? Because I've got about 10 pieces going and like, where am I? What's my name? What I do, Kirsty, is I get my phone and I put on the microphone and I speak the argument. So what are the results? Why do I care? Who's the audience for this? Speak about who the audience is. And so you're speaking the argument, why does it matter? So Kirsty, answer my question, why should I give a damn? So record that, why should I give a damn? And then you put the headphones on and that relaxes you when you're writing, because then you've actually got the sonic impetus to lead your fingers.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, thank you.
Because that's the way to just calm the farm and release the anxiety, because you're speaking the argument, pretend you're talking to me and just tell me about what's going on, and this is great, and then record that and then simply transcribe it, and then you've got something on the screen.
Because I think too, because the findings are from scientists, and so it's even more nerve-wracking because these are people I really admire, and so I'm writing about them. So yeah.
And remember the gift that you are giving those scientists by disseminating their work widely. So they need you, and yes, they're fantastic and inspirational, and that's great, but recognize the service that you are doing, and it is a powerful service for knowledge. So don't be intimidated. Recognize the gift that you're giving to the planet. All right?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're the best, Kirsty. And should we go to Chad, because I'm obsessed by Chad. Chad, hi. Chad, you're a legend, Chad. What were you working on, Chad? I want to be you, Chad.
Hello, everyone. I'm in education and I'm currently working on revising my second manuscript. This is 237th revision and comments from my supervisors. I'm just kidding. That's not the true number, but I really like that. So they're really good in giving those little things which may actually trigger, the reviewers. So it's really good. So I'm enjoying that. So I've been doing a bit of revision and bit of thinking. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And so, Chad, that 30 minutes is actually very good to be doing that granular revision sort of work. As David said last week, 30 minutes great for proofs. As Chad's shown, 30 minutes is great to just one at a time do those revisions.
Yes.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Excellent.
You rock, Chad. And look, Queen Amina's in. It's lovely to see you again. How are you going? What did you write on, Queen Amina? Demute yourself, superstar.
Oh, nice. Lovely to see you all, and thanks for the space as usual. In the past 30 minutes, I have been able to finalize a book review, a co-authored book review that I'm leading. So I'm just about to hit submit once we all finish discussing. And I'm going camping this weekend, so it feels really good to kind of like have a few things finalized. Yeah, and it's come off like a really interesting week where I was rejected for a bursary, but then I got good news about an associate research fellow role. And so it's just been like all over. So I'm just like, let's submit this thing. Let's go camping.
So I'm putting that on a t-shirt. Let's submit this thing and let's go camping. I think that's fantastic. Darling, congratulations. That's terrific. So it also, as Damien and you have done, it's a great example of that final push. Just so you know, you've got about 30 minutes left of work. Just do it with us and get rid of it. That is brilliant. Oh, Amina, you are so precious to us. Lovely to see you, my darling. And should we go to the legendary Jane? How are you, Jane P? How are you going? At least I get to see you this week. How was your Write Club, darling?
I was deep in thought, sorry. I was good. I'm trying to wrestle with the structure of an article that I'm writing. So, usually the article's like, introduction, lit review, methodology, findings, discussion. But I want to do something a bit different because I'm not really reporting on a single study. I'm pulling together all these ideas from previous studies to try and discuss an argument. So it doesn't really lend itself to findings and then discussion. I'm just trying to find a way to maybe link the ideas that I pull out in the lit review bit straight to a discussion after a methodology that explains where all the data came from. So yeah, that's what I was doing. This is sort of chewing it over.
Well done, Jane. And Jane, can I say there's all this stuff, particularly from applied social science, that this is the way research is reported, okay? That is nonsense. The diversity of strategies to configure an article, you go with that. Probably 99% of the articles I've written, and I'm about 250 articles at this point, 99% of them have not used those headings, all right? So use the old Bauhaus line, form follows function. Work out what you need the article to do, or Chad like that one. We'll put that one on a t-shirt, Chad. Form follows function. So what do you need the work to do? What's the scaffolding to get to that argument? And that's your structure.
Yeah, it's good advice. Thank you.
Oh, good on you, Jane. And look, we'll go to our other Jane. When two Janes are not enough. Jane, how did you go? It's lovely to see you again, my darling. How did you go?
Yeah. It's lovely to see you all. I had the cough from my son, that's why I missed the first part. I'm writing about the lunar calendar and the solar calendar. Like in the Vietnamese system, we have that two system, and I didn't realize that we have to apply for that two system at the same time. Means we have double the tasks that we have to do. But it's quite difficult to explain that in English. And thank you, Wendy, for the first part when we have to write with our passion. And I think that I have to embrace my Vietnamese English, because if I'm just using academic English, there's no way I can explain the conception of time in the positive and the negative calendars. So I'm struggling a bit about that, but I do hope that it makes sense in the end.
Oh, Jane, you've captured beautifully the transformation of academic languages, and it's important that that's always in the plural. The notion that this is how academics write is nonsense. It was nonsense 50 years ago, but with the diversity of students coming into doctoral programs, the languages we deploy are transforming, right? And they should be. As the diversity of students increases, the diversity of dissemination modalities also increases, Jane.
Thank you.
Lorraine, were you going to say something to wonderful Jane there, or were you just muting and demuting? Were you all right, Lorraine? I'm assuming Lorraine was all right. Bless her. I thought she was going to be offering an amazing Lorraine comment there, but we'll go to wonderful Dina, who is the light of my life. So Dina, how did you go? And what were you writing on for that 30 minutes, my darling? I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So this week, my supervisor agreed on the code that I have been doing. So I'm doing grounded theory, and I had to redo my initial code because it was not detailed enough for her. So I resubmitted again after a few weeks of work, and she said now it's fine. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm transforming the codes into subcategories, and then hoping that I could see some similar and dissimilar themes, and then get the categories done soon.
Oh, that's brilliant. And how do you think you've turned a corner, Dina? Do you think this is the moment?
I think so, because I really know that code is very, very important, and that's where it all starts. If you have it wrong in the first place, then it will it will drag the research. But again, I'm so happy that my supervisor gave me the green light to go follow it up.
I'm also proud of you, Dina. That is absolutely tremendous. You've got this, darling. We are with you. You've got this. Fantastic. And Queen Mary, we'll just do a touch base with wonderful Mary, because you change our lives. So Mary, what were you writing on this week? What provocations would you like to give us this week?
Well, this is a good week because I've been doing my Tara's 30 minutes of writing a day. And there is one topic I wanted to tease out, because I really am at the start of writing my thesis. So as Tara commented one time, you really just have to write it until you've kind of explored the whole thing. So I have spent a month exploring one aspect, and I have now finished it. And I don't know if I'll use it all in the thesis, but some of it will be used. Some of it will probably end up being in an article. So I've just put it to one side. I've actually organised for writing so that I have a writing reservoir now. I've decided I'll just do this 30 minutes a day writing. It'll become a writing reservoir that I can then dip into and use if I find something relevant.
That is, I mean, Mary, it's the dream I have for students that are in their first year, is let them read and let them write. And you've often heard me say, Mary, write until you've concluded the argument. Don't think it necessarily has to go somewhere to an outcome. Just write until you're done. And when you give yourself permission to do that, the freedom is exactly what you've done. You have a writing reservoir. That is unbelievable. Oh, we're thrilled with you, Mary. Oh, Jane's in there. Jane's gone straight. Yep, I'm going to get myself a writing reservoir. That's the way to do it. Good on you, superstar. And look, I'll finish off, colleagues, because we've had a wonderful day today. It's been lovely to see you all. I just want to do a wave to Jamie Quinton, who may be about to get on a plane. So, colleagues, those of you that are with us on social media, Jamie's about to fly to Darwin tonight. Jamie, where are you, darling? Are you at Auckland Airport? Have you got sound? Yeah. So you're at Auckland Airport. You can't speak. That's all right. That's all right. We can't hear you, darling one. But we wish you well. Do you want to try and say hello, or you can't? Bless him. Hi. No, we haven't got you, darling one. We just want to wish you well, travel well. It's a long way that you're going, and we are thrilled to see you. So when we do Write Club next week, I believe Jamie and I will be here in the same room together. So it's very precious, and we thank all of you for your support of us and keeping us sort of alive and facing the table during tough times. You are all very, very precious to us. For those of you that are in the Northern Territory, have a lovely public holiday and a long weekend. For colleagues that are working on Monday, I'll see you on Monday as well. Look after yourselves. Blessings to you all. Thank you for your inspiration, and travel well, my darling one. Travel well. Be safe. See you at midnight tonight. Bye. See you, everybody. Good energy. Bye-bye. Fantastic. See you soon.